What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds franchise. And we're going to start this one out quickly with adding Jason Vossler to the Major League roster. This is a guy who in real life for the Cincinnati Reds has played very well. And as you'll see, we try to move him to the to the MLB roster, but he must be added to the 40-man. So we had to fix that. But Jason Vossler has played very well in real life for the Cincinnati Reds. So I thought that it was time for him to have his first opportunity at the big league level here in this franchise. So to do that, we did have to remove Daniel Duarte from the 40-man roster. He is our third best closing pitcher on the roster. And I thought that if he were to get claimed, I really wouldn't think too deep about it. He's like a 56 overall. So we went ahead, added Jason Vossler to the 40-man roster, and he will be making his season debut here for the Cincinnati Reds. And like I said, I hope he can perform as well as he is in real life right now for the Reds. And today we're going to work until we get to about the 10th game of the season, finish the 10th game of the season. Before we get to any live action of a full game, we're going to have to join in here against the Chicago Cubs, in which we have a 2-1 lead, 3-2 count for Alexis Diaz, and he's going to get Ian Happ. Check swing, but it's called strike 3, so 2 away, and Alexis Diaz is 1 out away from securing the save and giving us the W versus the Chicago Cubs. As you see, Ian Happ just couldn't hold back. It's Dansby Swanson to the plate. It's an 0-2 count down to their lights. And it's going to be hit to center field, and this one's going to drop, so the Cubs will tie it up. Dansby Swanson, the newest addition to the Chicago Cubs. I was trying to say that the Cubs were down to their last strike, but Dansby Swanson comes in the clutch and ties this one up at 2 apiece. As you see, Alexis Diaz had the 0-2 count, just couldn't place the pitch in the correct spot, and that would lead to the Cubs tying this one up. And then Morel would pop this one out to right field to Jonathan India to end the top of the 9th. The Reds would have a chance to still walk off the Chicago Cubs, but yet again, another struggling performance out of Alexis Diaz. As we saw him in the last episode also struggle. He struggles in this one to secure the save. So I really like Alexis Diaz. He's our number one piece to our bullpen. We really need him to start coming in clutch. Here's Jose Barrero, who will hit a bloop single in the right field as that one will drop, and he'll hold up at first base. But Jose Barrero, one of those guys that I don't know how much longer he's going to have a spot on this 26-man roster, because he just does not bring a whole lot to the table. Kevin Newman has played pretty well when he has played. So Kevin Newman has pretty much secured that shortstop position, and there's really no place for Jose Barrero in the DH spot as well. And here's Jonathan India up to the plate with 2 away, 2-2 count, and he hits it right back to Sampson, who throws on to first to end the 9th inning, and the Chicago Cubs will take this one to extras, in which they will have a runner on second to start the inning. So, can we come away with the win as Lucas Sims on the mound, and Seiya Suzuki will go down looking? Lucas Sims with a strikeout, and he's one of those guys that we look to have a very good season this year. And Edwin Rios hits this one to right center field, and this one will drop, and that one will score the runner, and the Cubs have taken a lead here in the 10th inning. I mean, it really sucks, because as a pitcher, when you come on in extra innings, you don't have the ability to make many mistakes. As Cody Bellinger, batting 8th here for the Cubs, hits this one to left, and Stuart Fairchild will end the top of the 10th. But you don't have the ability to make many mistakes, because when you do, you're going to give up a run. And now the pressure is on us here in the bottom of the 10th to score a run to tie this one up, or to potentially walk it off. As Edwin Rios gives the Cubs the lead, which could effectively end this game if we fail to score a run here in the bottom of the 10th. Brad Boxberger on the mound. This might be his first appearance. We're not seeing any stats here for this season. But Tyler Stevenson, the first batter, he's 0 for 4 on the day in a 3-1 count. Stevenson, low pitch, drives this one to second base, but that will at least move the runner over. So that's what you need in that situation. At least you move him over, and now a sac fly could tie this game. Will Myers, the batter now, he's 1 for 3 on the day. Off to a slow start, 3-0 count, and Myers will hit this one to short, and that's not going to be able to score the run. It was hit too sharp. The Cubs were also playing infield in, and I believe that if we would have sent the runner, Dansby Swanson would have thrown him out with ease. So we're going to bring on Jake Fraley here to give us an opportunity. Hopefully Fraley can hit one hard in the gap somewhere and score the runner on third. It's an 0-0 count to Fraley. He's batting 143 on the season. Boxberger's pitch, and Fraley's going to ground this one over to the first baseman, who will put this one away. And the Chicago Cubs, who forced a blown lead in the ninth inning by Alexis Diaz, come back to win this one off the bats of Dansby Swanson and Edwin Rios. And the loss will go to Alexis Diaz, who just got the win in the last video. We allowed 12 hits in this one. We had 9 hits ourselves, so we were performing decent on offense in that game, but I don't think that we have a terrible bullpen, but we need to be able to close games out. Stuart Fairchild with a double in this game. Jose Barrero was hit by a pitch, and Senzel and Fairchild with RBIs. And you look at the pitching here. We had 12 strikeouts. Weaver pitched very well for us. Only 1 earned through 5 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. Connor Overton also pitched very well, but it was Alexis Diaz who cost us the game effectively. Not a good game for Alexis Diaz there. Weaver, like I said, pitched very well. So the next game will be Luis Cessa on the mound here. We'll try to win that game. But the next game that you guys are going to see, though, is going to be Nick Lodolo pitching in his second start of the season. As you're seeing a couple of injuries, Luis Cessa in that game was also injured, but he'll be out for a couple of days. Hopefully, he'll be ready for his next start. But Cessa out, and you'll look at the box score here, and he was also pitching very well in this one. Kevin Newman, TJ Friedel with doubles in that game, and RBIs for Joey Votto, 2 for Fraley and 2 for Friedel, as we beat the Chicago Cubs 5-3, as we allowed 1 run in the 9th inning as well in this game. A 12-hit performance for our offensive output, and Luis Cessa was 4 1/3 with no earned before he was injured and taken out of the game. Connor Overton did struggle, and you see it again. Alexis Diaz came in to try and save it, and we lost faith in him in the 9th as he gave up a run. So something's going on there. Buck Farmer had to be the one that come in and save the game for us. And if you look, Daniel Duarte was claimed off of waivers by Kansas City. He's 28 years old with like a 50-something overall. I'm not too worried about that. And to cap off the series against the Chicago Cubs, we did win 7-4. As I'm excited for this team, and I'm excited to see what this team can do. As only 6 games into the season, we're playing pretty well. And now we have a pretty important series against the Phillies coming up to see how good we really are. Hunter Green goes 7 innings. But let's get into the game against the Philadelphia Phillies. So here we are, the first time on the road this season here in Philadelphia. And we're going to be taking on a loaded lineup filled with guys like Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, and Trey Turner, who went off in the World Baseball Classic. It's beautiful weather here in Philadelphia, and we're going to have Nick Lodolo on the mound. As in real life, the Phillies have really been off to a rough start. And in this series, we are 3-3. The Reds in real life are 3-2. So we're on pace to do just about the same thing we're doing in real life. Zach Wheeler on the mound here. He's 1-0 on the season with a 5.14 ERA. And he pitched 7 innings in his first outing. Jonathan India to lead off for the Cincinnati Reds. He's got 1 homer on the year, and he's batting .273. Look to get a lot more production out of him this season. India, to start the game off, is swinging, and it's going to be an 0-1 count. But India would get this one to go full, 3-2 count. The 6th pitch for Wheeler, and it's going to be a high ball. And Jonathan India will be the leadoff man, as he is going to be aboard with nobody out. So Zach Wheeler, a really good pitcher, but we're looking to take advantage of him. Jason Vossler's batting .375 this year for us, and he's going to be hit by a pitch, and he'll have his first time aboard in this one. Tyler Stevenson, the batter now, 0-1 count, nobody down. Need Stevenson to start playing better. Only batting .167, but this one's going to fall as Tyler Stevenson will move the runners. Nobody scores, but the bases are loaded with nobody out. That's some good hitting by Tyler Stevenson. That's what we need him to do. We don't want him to necessarily be a huge power hitter, but we know he's got good contact, and that's all that we ask out of him. Jake Fraley, the hitter now, he's batting .333 on the season. And Fraley hits this one hard to Trey Turner. He flips to Harrison, and the Phillies will turn 2. But the Reds will get 1 run on the RBI by Jake Fraley. Will Benson, the batter now. This is a guy who hasn't really played that great for us this season. But this one's hitting the gap, and Will Benson is going to have a 2-out RBI double. Unless he tries to go for 3, but he's in to second with a stand-up double. So that will give us a 2-0 lead here in the first inning. We have not even seen our defense or pitching yet. Will Myers now the batter, and he's going to pop this one out to center field where Brandon Marsh will camp underneath of it. And finally, Zach Wheeler is out of the first inning. Some very good offense out of us. We were patient at the plate, and we hit the ball very well. Lodolo, no record on the season, a 3.6 ERA on 5 innings pitched, and he had 7 strikeouts in his debut on the season. So here he is in his second start. Really excited to see how he performs this season. Here's Trey Turner, the batter, and it's off the glove of Jason Vossler, and there is no way you're throwing out Trey Turner, as he almost did. But Turner with that electrifying speed. So we had an option here. Do we want to try and challenge the call? So I did think for a split second that we might have gotten him. Take a look at the replay, and Trey Turner, foot now, and the ball hadn't reached the glove yet. So he was safe. We said, no, we are not going to challenge. Spencer Steer over there playing first base in today's game. Josh Harrison, now the batter. Lodolo, the pitch. Vossler fields it, throws to India, on to Steer, and a double play for the Reds. The second double play of the game, one by Philly and one by us. So Bryce Harper, the hitter now, 2-2 count, and he's batting over 400 to start the season. And Lodolo gets him swinging, strike 3. So Lodolo gets into a little bit of a, not a jam, I wouldn't say, but Trey Turner aboard with nobody out, and you work your way out of it. And here's Lodolo pitching to Schwarber now in the bottom of the second, and he's going to get his second strikeout. Kyle Schwarber, a huge power hitter, was not expecting that pitch right there. Here is JT Realmuto, and he'll hit this one through the gap of short and third, and he's on. JT Realmuto, one of the better catchers in the league, if not the best, but the crazy thing about him is he's got speed as well over there on first base, so look out for him. 78 speed, and he's going. Stevenson, the throw down to India, and we got him. So that's going to end the second. Tyler Stevenson on the money. The high pitch by Lodolo did not matter. We made the play. Top 3 now, 1 down, and Jason Vossler is up to bat. And Vossler's going to hit this one hard in the right field, and Bryce Harper didn't even have to move. I got to say, if Bryce Harper isn't just standing there, that is a rocket shot. Big time hit by Vossler. Tyler Stevenson up now, 2 away. Here's the pitch from Wheeler, and he's going to get Stevenson swinging. Strike 3. So does Zach Wheeler finally settle in a little bit, become more comfortable? Rhys Hoskins, the hitter now in the bottom of the third. And Nick Lodolo is going to get Rhys Hoskins looking. So another strikeout for Lodolo, his third on the day. 2 of them have went with the backwards K. Bryson Stott goes down swinging. So Nick Lodolo has faced the minimum through the first 3 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, but that does not change the fact that he's had some double plays and some caught stealing. So Will Benson, the hitter now, 2-2 count. Zach Wheeler nearing 50 pitches on the day. And Benson hits this one through the gap. That is perfect hitting. You get the breaking ball, and you just sit back, you stay patient on it, and he hits it right through the gap at 102 off the bat. Perfect hitting by Will Benson. And I got to say, when we face a right-handed pitcher, Will Benson is extremely fun to hit with. Now here's Spencer Steer, and Will Benson's moving, and he is in there safe. So Will Benson with the stolen base. Let's see if that will help him become a score for us, and it's not even going to matter. Spencer Steer grounds out to second to end the inning. Will Benson might be the fastest player on this team, as a matter of fact. 3-2 count to Trey Turner now. He's 1 for 1 on the day, and he's going down swinging a perfect circle change by Nick Lodolo. His 5th strikeout of the day. I have been impressed with the way that Nick Lodolo has been throwing in this game. And even in the first game where we had the player lock with him, he was throwing really well. Here's Bryce Harper up now, and he's going to ground this one to Newman. There was a runner on first as well. So another double play for the Cincinnati Reds defense. They are playing very well. Excuse me, I had to get that frog out of my throat there. I don't like to do that, but I had to. TJ Friedel, the batter now, and he's hitting this one into left center. Does he have enough power for it to go? TJ Friedel off the wall, and with 69 speed, will he try 3? No, he will not, but he probably would have been in there with the errant throw. He might be the number 9 hitter, but he's got a little bit of pop, and he's got some very good contact and speed. And he's still young. This is a guy who could be very good for us and may take over that center field role by the time this season is over. Jonathan India up to the plate now, one away, and he's got a man in scoring position. This one hit out to Harper. He's got a decent arm. He's going to throw it to 3. Is Friedel going to be able to make it? Yes, he is. If there was a little bit better of a throw, I think Harper might have been able to get him. So here's Jason Vossler. Now he's 0 for 1 on the day. And he's going to hit this one over Josh Harrison's head into the gap. And that's going to score a run. And Jason Vossler will be in there with a double. Another terrible throw from the outfield. 3-0 to score now as Jason Vossler gets his first RBI of the season. Here's Stevenson in the box now, top 5. 2 down. And Stevenson drives this one up the middle. 97 miles per hour off the bat, and Brandon Marsh was not playing that one very quickly, as that will allow Jason Vossler to score. So the Reds will take a 4-0 lead in this game, and that is going to do it for Zach Wheeler, as he really struggled in this game. Couldn't complete 5 innings worth of work, and we hit the ball very well, and we were extremely patient at the plate, and that is what helped us take him out of the game earlier than they expected to take him out. So Jake Fraley comes in, 2-2 count. Nick Nelson, the pitcher now. Here's the pitch, and Fraley's going to ground this one to Harrison. The flip to Turner, and that is going to end the top of the 5th inning. Lodolo on the mound still, 55 pitches on the day. And this is Kyle Schwarber hitting this one in the left field. And even though they banned the shift and there's more restrictions with the shift, our outfielders were still moved and played over. So let's say Kyle Schwarber, he technically beat the shift there. As that's a leadoff runner for the Phillies, and JT Realmuto, the batter now, and he's going down swinging. So when you look at it, Lodolo has struck out their best hitters in this game. It's been extremely impressive. You also got Nick Castellanos, who's another good hitter, and he's going to ground into what could be a double play. India to throw on the steer, and they got it. A double play for the Reds defense, and what a game for Nick Lodolo. Extremely impressive here. As you see the hit, Kevin Newman plays it perfectly. The flip on to Jonathan India, and a perfect throw to Spencer Steer. Only 4 hits for the Philadelphia Phillies offense. That'll take us to the top of the 6th, and you got Will Benson at the plate now. He's 2 for 2. And if you don't want him to get a base hit, just hit him. So, leadoff runner aboard here in the top of the 6th, Will Myers. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Would like to get a little bit better performance out of him. Here's a drive down the left field line, and Will Myers is going to have an extra base hit. Will Benson's got some speed. He's going to round third, and he is going to be there with ease. 5-0 to score after the RBI double by Will Myers. Kevin Newman steps in, 1 away, and Will Myers is sitting there on second. Get him home right here and make it a 6-0 game. As Kevin Newman goes right up the middle, and Will Myers isn't the fastest guy, but he's still got some speed, and you're not going to throw him out. 6-0, Cincinnati leads in this one, as we are now putting it on the Phillies. I got to say, I did not expect this. Here's TJ Friedel up to bat now, and he's going to hit this one over to third, and on the first for the double play. This game has been full of them. It felt like the first couple of games that I played, I didn't see very many double plays, but this one has had a lot. But as you notice, Nick Lodolo in a jam here. 3-2 count. Runners on first and second with 2 away. And Lodolo gets Josh Harrison looking. What a game for Nick Lodolo. Perfect through 6 innings. And I don't mean perfect as a no-hitter or a perfect game, but he has pitched very, very well in this one. Tyler Stevenson, 2 for 3 on the day. He steps in, and he's going to hit this one to right field, and it's going to get down. Harper can't play it well. And that's a 3-hit day for Tyler Stevenson. A breakout day for him, as he was struggling heading into this game. It seems like your offensive and defensive players of the game are Nick Lodolo and Tyler Stevenson. Jake Fraley up now. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but he puts a charge in this one down to the right field wall, off the wall, and that's going to move Stevenson to third, and that's going to be a 2-out double for Jake Fraley here in the top of the 7th. The Reds may not be done with their offense yet. Another thing with Jake Fraley is hitting with him is very fun as well. When you face a right-handed pitcher, it can be so fun to hit with Jake Fraley as well. And then Jason Vossler, who we talked about a little bit, we brought him up at the beginning of the episode. He has really good power numbers against lefties and righties, so I think that he could take over and be an everyday starter. We'll have to find out where we're going to place him, but Will Benson is another guy. If you're facing a righty, he's really fun, but when you face the lefty, you're going to get soft contact ground outs like you just saw right there. So that will end the top of the 7th, as those 2 runners would not be able to score. But Lodolo comes on here, and he's going to stay in the pitch the bottom of the 7th, and he got Bryce Harper. Striking out is Bryce Harper, I believe the 2nd time he struck out in this game. It did not look like he went, but the home plate umpire said, yes, you did. 2-2 to Schwarber, and he's going to get a strikeout on Kyle Schwarber. Back-to-back Ks, and he's on to the 9th strikeout of this start. Can he strike out Realmuto? He's not going to be able to do it, but he is going to pitch 7 complete innings, not allowing 1 run. So what a game for Lodolo. You probably could have thrown him out there and had him pitch a little bit of the 8th too, but he had pitched 99 pitches, and I thought that was good enough. There's no reason to bring him back out again. So Buck Farmer would be the guy who comes on. He has pitched in 3 games. He has not allowed a hit, I don't believe. He's allowed a walk, but no ERA. His opponent's average are 0 all across the board. But Kevin Newman probably didn't need to dive right there. I did anyway, but I don't think I would have had to. But runners on 1st and 2nd with nobody out. So Buck Farmer, not a great outing right now. Brandon Marsh, the hitter. Buck Farmer's 10th pitch here, and Marsh hits this one. It's off the glove of Steer. India fields it. India's going to throw it to Kevin Newman, so they will get at least 1 out. But that should have been a double play at least, you would have thought. But that's going to move the runner over to 3rd, so a real weird play. Runners on the corner with 1 away, and the Reds will get another double play opportunity, and they got him. So the shutout is still intact at the end of 8. Buck Farmer really got out of the jam there. Runners on the corner with only 1 out, and a perfectly fielded double play by Spencer Steer on the Newman, and then back to Steer. 5 hits for this Philadelphia Phillies offense. 2-2 count, and Josh Harrison hits this one. It's a bloop single into left field, and Fraley's going to get this one in. So runners at the corner once again, but this time nobody out. So it feels like it's inevitable the Phillies are going to potentially score a run here. And with the way that Buck Farmer had pitched in this game, I said, it's time to take him out. Let's bring in Lucas Sims, who has pitched very well. He's got a 0 ERA, 5 strikeouts to no walks, and this would be his 4th appearance on the season. So he's going to get Bryce Harper striking out. Perfect pitch there by Lucas Sims, and Bryce Harper has now struck out 3 times in this game. Here's Kyle Schwarber, and he's going to hit this one into shallow center. Friedel will play it, but you got 99 speed on 3rd. You're probably not going to throw him out, even with a perfect throw. So the Phillies will score at least 1 run in this game. Unfortunately, we were trying for the shutout, but we still had a dominant victory here as JT Realmuto will hit this one into right field, and that will end this game. A 6-1 win for the Reds. No home runs in this game by either offense, but I got to say that the way that we play today is how you're supposed to win games. It's the recipe for success. Great pitching and great plate appearances. You don't need home runs and strikeouts. You just need good pitching, and you need to have good plate appearances. Draw walks, get base hits, play some small ball, and that's what we did in this game. We won 6-1 with 10 hits. We only allowed 7 hits, and I'm really pleased with the way that we played today. Nick Lodolo with 9 strikeouts. Will Benson with 2 hits on the day. But that's going to do it for this game against the Philadelphia Phillies. Now I want to try to get into a couple of player lock games with guys like India and Joey Votto, and then we'll kind of get out of there. We'll look at the prospects a little bit, but let's get into that now with a player lock game with Jonathan India. But before we do that, we got some things to look at here. Nick Solak sustained an injury, and Tony Santillan, I don't know if it showed it earlier. He was injured, but he is now healthy, and he is back from injury. So he was a guy that had a really good start for us, but we're not here to talk about Tony Santillan right now. We're here to talk about Jonathan India, who we're going to have a player lock game with here. The Reds are 4-3 on the season, and we're going to be playing against Ranger Suarez, who has a really weird delivery. I'm not going to talk about what's going to happen, but his delivery just looks really weird to me. But here's India batting .231 on the season. I've really struggled to hit with him when I have played games with the Reds. But when I do the player lock, I have no issues at all. Jonathan India with a single here with 1 away. So not batting leadoff today, batting in the 2 hole. But I think this is a perfect opportunity to for you guys to get a look at Jonathan India and me not really have to commentate the game. But I'm going to say that it is kind of difficult to make content on MLB The Show. It's a lot of information. There's a lot of things to record, but I'm trying to work on ways that I can make it quicker or ways that I can make it more interesting. Because if I'm doing a long form video, I want it to be more informative about the team and about the potential plans of the team and kind of the moves that I make within the farm system as well. As you see, we're into the 8th inning now, 7-2 the Phillies lead, but here's another base hit for Jonathan India. But like I said, I want to, if I'm going to do longer content, which is this is going to be like another 30-something minute video, is I want to include more. So if you guys are feeling like I'm not including enough information, then I can try to include more, but I also want to shorten the videos up because 34 minutes is a very long time as well. So I want to kind of find a mix, as I hope that I'm not leaving information out for you guys. But here's Tyler Stevenson with his first home run of the season. We're not controlling him. He's controlling himself, 385 feet off the bat, 96 miles per hour. So Tyler Stevenson with his first home run on the season. But I want to try and make this series interesting. And I'm thinking about, even when we become successful, I'm thinking the magic number is 12. 12 episodes per season, I think, is the perfect amount, just because we're not going to spend too much time like moving slow. So I think 12 episodes. So you can expect the first season to be done in 12 episodes, maybe even quicker than that, depending on, the pace of the game and the pace of the season. Like, if we're really struggling, I don't want to spend a lot of time playing unless we're playing with specific players. So India with a really good day at the plate today. And here's Will Myers as he hits this one in the left center. And we're going to pause and wait a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're going to score. And we have Tyler Stevenson right behind us who comes across to score as well. So 8-10, could we potentially get another at-bat here? We'd have to see. We would have to leave it up to our 5-hitter. But that's not what's going to happen. We're going to lose this game 10-8. But got a couple of clips here of Jonathan India and, kind of got to look at how we can be better at hitting with him. He had a 3-hit game in this one. And the offense really did its thing, but the pitching struggled big time. Graham Ashcraft sustained the loss in this game, and Sir Anthony Dominguez with the save. We did not look at the stats in that one, but I want to get into scouting. I kind of messed the scouting up. It was hard for me to kind of like show you guys how it was going. But one guy that we do have our eyes on is Brent Black, a starting pitcher. I don't know that I would go, as he looks really good, by the way, but I don't know that I would go starting pitching route. I want to go more of a place that we really need, like outfield or first base. More specifically, maybe like a left fielder and a first baseman. But as you see, we're going to be scouting international left fielders, and we're going to be scouting international first basemen. Here's Felipe Beltran and and Henry Sanchez, two guys that I really have my eye on. See if we can't scout them a little bit more and see how they're going to turn out, because they look like some guys that I'd be interested in picking if they turn out to be pretty good. I'm going to simulate this game here against the Philadelphia Phillies, in which we lost 2-1, so a really good pitching day for us, but we just could not hit. Only 3 hits. Vossler had one of them, Fraley and Stevenson with the other 2. And if you look at Weaver, he's pitching very well. 2 earned runs in that game, a 2.38 ERA on the season. And I got to say, the next episode, we may be watching Luke Weaver pitch. I believe his name is Luke Weaver. I don't want to get it wrong, but we may be watching him pitch in the next game. Spencer Strider on the mound today for the Braves, as we're going to get a player lock game with Joey Votto. And I'm going to let you know right now that this was a very underwhelming performance and a very underwhelming player lock experience with Joey Votto. I wanted to get into the game because we know that this could potentially be Joey Votto's last season in real life and here in the game. So I wanted to kind of give him a little bit of love, and he's a guy that I kind of want to focus on just a little bit throughout the season because it could be his last go around. So double play here as Votto turns it. Votto starts it and Votto ends it, I should say. And I'm going to be honest, that was probably the best highlight of this entire player lock right here for Votto. He has gotten dramatically worse as a hitter, and it makes me question, can he even hit against lefties anymore, or is that just going to continue to bring him down? I think he can hit against righties, but you got to kind of get into that groove. In any MLB The Show game that I've played, I really struggle to hit with Joey Votto for whatever reason. But I think patience is his number one key to success. As now we're on to the 5th inning here. The sun has gone down, and Joey Votto steps up to the plate. Ian Anderson's now on the mound. So interesting that Spencer Strider couldn't even make it 5 innings in this game, but he did not allow a run. So kind of makes me wonder, did he get injured in this game? I did not check, but I just now realized that Ian Anderson was on the mound for that. at bat. So Votto flies out, top 7 now, and the Braves are leading this one 3-0, 2 away. Can Votto get a hit? No, he cannot, as he grounds this one to Ozzie Albies, who puts him away, and that would end the 7th. I got to say, the Braves are one of the better teams here that we would play on the season. I was surprised that we played as well against the Phillies as we did, but the Braves come away with the victory. We really struggled again on offense. You saw in the last game, we only had 3 hits, and here in this game, we also just really struggled, as we'll see a final score of 3-1. We had 7 hits in this one, but only 1 run. You're not going to win games like that. Luis Cessa was on the mound, and he pitched pretty well again. Let's take a look at some stats here. We are bottom of the league in pretty much every offensive category. Only 7 home runs on a season. But pitching, we're tied for 9th in ERA. And we are, let's get up there. Let's see it. And we are 8th in runs allowed. So pitching and our offense are polar opposites. Something I'm kind of surprised by. TJ Friedl batting 375. Obviously, he's only had 8 at-bats, so it's a small sample size. Jake Fraley batting 296, and he's had 27 at-bats. So it makes you wonder, is Fraley a potential trade piece, or do we want to potentially build around a guy like Jake Fraley? Spencer Steer's batting well. Jonathan India is playing well. Tyler Stevenson is getting there. Will Benson also getting there. And Jason Vosler, who I really like, is starting to perform a little bit better as well. Kevin Newman, 216 batting average. So we really got to figure out. There's a couple positions where we're struggling. We got to figure out what we're going to do to get better at those positions. Will Benson, Nick Senzel, and Kevin Newman have all struck out 7 times this season, and that's just not good. Looking at the pitching here, Hunter Green has pitched 13 innings, Nick Lodolo has pitched 12, and he's got a 1.5 ERA, leads the team in strikeouts as well, as you see 16 Ks, 15 for Hunter Green, and Hunter Green has pitched pretty well. Luke Weaver and Luis Cessa have pitched very well, so I definitely want to get a game with Luke Weaver in the next episode. But Graham Ashcraft and Alexis Diaz have really struggled. More specifically, Alexis Diaz. What are we going to do there? Only 2.2 innings pitched on the season, and he doesn't even have a save yet. So we're going to figure out what we're going to do there. But the big one is Elly De La Cruz down at AAA, batting 394 in his first 33 at-bats on the season. Still without a home run down there. But he is the guy. Will we see Elly De La Cruz anytime soon? That's the question. I'm excited to try and figure that one out. But in the next episode, I will tell you that we're going to be playing a couple of games. I'm going to play 2 full games. And if we have like a moments or anything like that, we'll skip over those. I just want to get 2 complete games in. And at the end of that episode, we're going to get a sneak peek of something special that could be coming very soon. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like. And I will see you in the next video for some more Reds baseball. See ya.